We would like to hear.
It was a really a very, very good discussion, a very, very interesting discussion that covered a broad range of views. I mean, my view is that while I certainly support the strong monetary and fiscal response to the COVID crisis, I am concerned about that the huge fiscal expansion is not being done in the context of a medium-term program that explains how are we going to get back, how are we going to regain control over fiscal spending. And that's particular concern for the high debt countries, which already before the crisis had a big gap between where they were and where they should be. And that gap is even larger now. And that's a concern for me. And I see a big risk that these countries will be forced into fiscal adjustment that will be socially unfair, and unless they undertake some structural reforms, fiscal structural reforms, that will pay off over the medium term. And I'm also concerned about that monetary policy is actually discouraging fiscal policymakers from undertaking such a reform. And these speculations about that one will have low policy rates for as long as we can see will cause vulnerabilities to build up because we will actually, when the next crisis hit, we will have even higher debt level. I made the point that it's quite striking that the high debt countries, which saw a huge increase in debt during the global financial crisis 10, 12 years ago, actually did nothing in the meantime to bring down debt, to restore the fiscal space that they had lost. And that was very much because of the very expansionary monetary policy. And I'm concerned about, as we come out of this crisis, once again, there will be no incentive to try to restore this fiscal space, and when the next crisis hit, we will have even less room for maneuver.
It's a pretty grim view.
Well, this is particular view on what's happening inside the euro area and the contradictions that arise from the fact that the euro area is a currency union that is not a political union. That Europe has not established any procedures that will enable Europe to ensure that members' national policies are more consistent with the constraints and objectives at the European level. And there we have not made any progress. Perhaps some in the financial sector, but as far as fiscal policy and structural reforms are concerned, we have not made any progress, and that is showing.
It would need a much more political unity, probably.
Well, that is probably not realistic, but then we need credible rules. We need rules that are adhered to. And here again, without progress, we have not made any progress at the political level to make the rules credible.
You talk so interestingly that I almost forgot that I'm here from the side of the bank. But the journalistic side, I would make rather an interview with you. It's really interesting points. But let's move now back to the conference. How do you judge the conference? You know it very well.
I think the conference it's quite impressive how the National Bank managed each time to have a quite variety of topics, but all of them are very, very topical, are very, very relevant. And I've been coming here for many years, and I have seen how the conference have developed from being about transition and the issues facing Croatia at that time to now being these more global issues and not least issues facing Europe and now the euro area, all these issues that are very relevant for Croatian policymakers. So I think from that point of view of helping to policymakers to have an informed debate, I think it's extremely helpful conference.